I will speak in my language, but we'll take to English. Is that right?
no problem.
අයිබෝවන් සියලු දෙනාට අද මම ඇත්තටම සිම්බාබ්වේ නැත්නම් පිටරටක ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් එක්ක කතා කරන්නේ, but we'll be speaking in English and you guys can hear what we discuss. We got Dr. S here, who's from an African country, who's actually working with us for a while now. We got to know each other for a while, probably 4 or 5 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then we were discussing everything: nature, Australia, our own country,
Yeah,
and why we coming here.
yeah,
So we come to why we coming here.
right.
Dr. S, my question is, why your country people, especially the health workers, doctors and the nurses and other stuff, deciding to migrate to Australia or UK or Canada?
I think the bottom line is that the situation back home is a little bit unfavorable
Uh-huh.
to practice. So you find that people are practitioners, whether they are nurses, dentists, doctors, they're understaffed
Yeah.
and underpaid,
Uh-huh.
and there's not a lot of resources to
I see,
use in
I
the
see.
public sector.
I see.
So that makes it very hard to actually utilize the knowledge that you gained in school.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
When you say no infrastructure, is it only in country hospitals or city hospitals or everywhere?
It's everywhere. So long as it's a public hospital,
Yeah.
there's very limited resources. Sometimes the ultrasound machine is not working.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the X-ray CT scan is down,
Uh-huh.
and it's not fixed for
I see.
weeks on
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
And sometimes even the most basic things are not available, like gloves, medication, IV fluids.
Ah,
So it's very, very difficult.
I see. What about say essential medication like diabetic medication and antibiotics and like blood pressure medications and things?
Yeah.
They still scarce? Or?
Yeah, so that comes and goes. Sometimes you go to the pharmacy and you find it.
Yeah.
Other times you go and you don't find it. And the only thing the doctor can do is write you a script, and then you have to go and buy it at a private pharmacy.
I see, I see.
So that is only that
Yeah.
works for people who have the money,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of the people are struggling.
Yeah.
So that becomes really hard. So you find some people end up defaulting because they can't afford
I see. I
to
see.
buy the medication.
I come from Sri Lanka, so we see some parallels,
Yeah.
not quite exact, but to some extent. It's sad to hear. What's the sort of health system? Is it fully functional? I know that it's a stupid question to ask when you say that, but is it like well regulated, or is it a bit of an anarchy, or what's happening?
In terms of the training you get is really good,
Uh-huh.
but when you come to actually practicing it, all these things are limiting factors.
I see.
And then you find that some of the health practitioners have gone and done really good regulation for themselves. For
Yeah.
example, pharmacists.
Uh-huh.
You find a lot of pharmacists now prescribing, and without a doctor's note,
Uh-huh.
they just give out medication, which
They-
makes it a bit dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. They do
So,
their own.
yeah.
No one regulating.
No, no. I
Ah.
think there's regulations in place, but no one enforcing.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Law is there, but it's not functioning.
Yeah.
So you said all the health workers, so nurses, doctors, paramedics, everyone.
Yep.
And then are there kind of infighting or sort of how to say competition or that sort of thing between different roles? Like when you have these sort of problems in a country,
Yep.
they point the finger to the other group.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's quite rampant. So no one really takes the blame.
Yeah.
And ultimately the government is blamed.
Yeah.
Because if the government was doing a really good job, then the public sector would be functional.
Yeah.
And it would be running smoothly. So in the meantime, people just blame this group and that group, and no one takes responsibility.
I see, I see. And you said it's a good training, and you said good internship, like a 2 years internship.
Yeah,
is that
2
right?
years internship.
Yeah.
So 6 months of medicine with ED, and then 6 months of surgery.
Yeah.
Then pediatrics,
Yeah.
OBG, and
Yeah.
then you get to choose whether you want to do psychiatry
Yeah.
or anesthesia.
It's good
Anesthesiology,
training. Yeah.
So pretty good.
I worked with you and then realized that you're working like you got all the skills. This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's still a transition to learn the Australian system.
Yeah.
Because obviously there are differences in terms of
Yeah.
electronic documentation, which
Yeah.
is not there back home, at
Yeah.
least in the public sector.
Yeah.
So yeah, just getting to learn
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, that's one of the things, Dr. S, actually. So it's you should be skilled with computer, software,
Yep.
websites, say PBS and Medicare
Yep.
and work cover. I think you got a lot of learning happening in our rooms.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And just knowing all the referrals.
Yeah.
Referral system, how
Yeah.
it works. So yeah.
You already for my viewers, actually she did a pesky and she got qualified to join us as a new GP starting soon.
Yeah.
She already done the hard work.
Yeah, the expensive work.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it. You
Yes,
will
it
find
is.
out.
It is.
We got this is behind a school, primary school. This is the primary school hall, and then they got a good veggie patch, and you see those shades for the garden, and then there's some sheep there. Okay, go back to our discussion. So it's non-functional or semi-functional system,
Yep.
plus people not happy,
Yep.
and then they're leaving for what they call greener pastures. But are they really leave for greener pastures, or are they looking for the order and planned and
I think
that
a
sort of
little bit
system?
of both.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating to work in a healthcare system where you have all the knowledge,
Yeah.
but you don't have the resources or
Yeah.
the support to practice.
Yeah.
So, and then at the same time, you need to earn a living wage,
Yeah.
so you can support your family.
Yeah, so it's
So it's not really that people are money driven,
Yeah.
but it's born out of necessity because
Yeah.
you could go into the private system.
Yeah.
There's some state of the art hospitals. And you
back
can
in your
practice-
country.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Really, really good hospitals.
Yeah.
But they're not for everyone because not everyone can afford
That's
private.
for affluence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, that's the trouble. You need a little bit of balance.
Yeah.
Rule of law,
Yeah.
and also you need to earn an income.
As I said, I come from Sri Lanka, although I'm kind of a supervisor role for you, but we're friends, right?
Right.
And then I just heard this morning, there's something on Facebook or TV, someone saying, doctors, they demand everything in our country, but when they go to Europe or Australia or New Zealand, they behave like kittens. What do you say for that?
What do you mean? Can you explain a bit more?
That is like you you don't demand anything, you don't ask for extra pay, you're not questioning about paying extra tax for the government and things.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I think it's a question of mindset, really. With a lot of international medical graduates,
Yeah.
when you arrive in Australia, you look at the opportunity you've been given,
Yeah.
and sometimes you just embrace that with both of your hands,
Yeah.
and maybe don't realize that you deserve more. But I mean, with the right guidance,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just as equally trained
Yeah.
as Australian doctors.
Yeah.
So that's something that maybe you might need a bit of tutorship to realize that you deserve just as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
So it takes a bit of time though to get that confidence to demand what you deserve
Okay, in a country like this.
in a country
Yeah,
like Australia. Yeah.
But what the guy, I think I don't like to refer to the guy, but people should know who just watched it. What he's referring to is like they're questioning the tax system in their own country, but when they go to a developed country, they don't have questions. But
Okay.
you know,
That's probably because sometimes back home we feel like our tax is being misused because we don't see the support in the public system, whether
exactly.
it's
Not like
roads
footpath like this
Yeah.
or road like that,
or
or
hospitals.
and
Yeah. So then
you name it.
it's fair to question, to say, where's this tax going, because we don't see that it's working for us. But here you can see where your money is going.
Yeah.
You can get admitted,
Yeah.
deliver without paying anything.
Yeah.
If you need to go to the ED, you don't pay anything. So
Yeah.
you know your money is working.
In Australia, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
If you got the Medicare, you can, but
Yeah.
some people question, oh yeah, we come new, and then they're charging, but they will understand the system better once they get used to. So you answered my question. What else? When it comes to this sort of scenario, like no good system, people say it's good in the Europe or Australia, New Zealand, and then you explain why you guys feeling like that.
Yeah.
I would feel the same. But asking about the government back home, we have to turn, isn't it? Yeah. Back home, some countries, like what we used to, is like we worried about elections and the governments and can you get them to the right path and things like that. That sort of frustration drive you out too,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
What's happening in your home country?
To be honest, I try to detach myself from the political
Yeah.
side of things because too stressful for me.
Yeah, like it make your mind sort of blowing.
Yes, because I mean it feels
Yeah.
like I'm powerless to
Yeah.
implement any changes.
Yeah.
So, but I know that just looking around, you can tell that the current government has failed
Yeah.
the people in terms of health.
Yeah.
All the other promises that might be given around election time